the moment life ends, movement stops, but awareness may not. If death is a doorway, what if it does not open immediately? If heaven is promised, why would there be a pause? And if judgment is certain, why would silence come first? Many believe death is instant arrival. Blink, then eternity. Comforting, simple, clean. Yet ancient faith traditions hint at something quieter, a moment after the heart stops where nothing moves forward, only waiting. What happens when the body goes still, but the soul does not rush anywhere? What if death is not an answer, but a pause between questions? Imagine a normal ending. No dramatic last words. No final confession. Just a quiet hospital room, or a familiar bedroom, or a sudden moment on an ordinary day. Breathing slows. The chest rises once more, then does not rise again. Doctors mark a time, machines fall silent. To the world, the story has ended. But what if, for the one who has died, awareness has not ended at all? There is no pain now, no heartbeat, no breath, yet there is also no light, no music, no welcome. No voice announcing peace or punishment, only consciousness, not floating, not falling, simply present. Time behaves strangely here. Seconds do not pass the way they once did. There is no body to grow tired, no eyes to close. Thoughts arrive fully formed. Memories surface without effort. The life just lived begins to feel closer than ever. Not as a highlight reel, not as judgment, just remembrance. Moments once ignored feel heavier now. Conversations, choices, silences, not only what was done, but what was delayed. What was avoided, what was known, yet never acted upon. This place has been given many names across centuries. A realm of the dead, a holding place, a waiting space between life and what comes next. Some ancient texts describe it as Sheol. Not heaven, not hell, but something in between, a place without praise but without torment, without reward but without release. What kind of mercy waits instead of deciding? From a faith perspective, this idea unsettles modern certainty. Many prefer instant outcomes, immediate justice, immediate comfort, a clean moral conclusion. But a waiting place suggests something different, that judgment may require reflection, that mercy may require stillness, that eternity may not begin with motion, but with pause. Psychologically, waiting changes everything. When action ends, the mind turns inward, without distraction. Thoughts grow louder. There is no defense mechanism left, no future plans to soften regret, no time pressure to justify choices. Only truth, experienced privately. This waiting is not punishment, yet it is not comfort either. It is awareness without escape. Some would call that cruel, others would call it fair. If a life was rushed, distracted, endlessly busy, is it unreasonable that death slows everything down? Of guilt was buried under noise, success, routine. Is silence unjust? Faith traditions often speak of justice as balance, but balance does not always arrive as reward or suffering. Sometimes it arrives as clarity, and clarity can be heavy. In this place, no voice accuses. No angel explains. No fire threatens. Yet nothing distracts. The question forms quietly and refuses to leave. Was this life aligned with what was known to be right? Not what was taught, not what was inherited, but what was understood deep inside. This is where the discomfort grows. If forgiveness is infinite, why the need for reflection at all? Grace covers everything. Why not skip the waiting? Perhaps forgiveness is not erased by reflection. Perhaps reflection is part of it. From a moral standpoint, instant outcomes remove responsibility. They close the door too quickly. They turn complex lives into final verdicts. But a pause allows weight to settle. It allows the soul to fully see its own shape, not judged by rules, but by alignment, not measured by belief, but by sincerity, not evaluated by perfection, but by direction. The unsettling thought is this: what if the waiting is not imposed, but chosen? What if the soul does not rush forward because it is not ready to? Many psychological studies show that unresolved guilt seeks expression. The mind replays unfinished stories, unspoken words, moments where courage was possible, but comfort was chosen instead. What if death removes distraction but not desire? What if the soul pauses because it must finish seeing itself? This reframes the waiting place entirely, not as a sentence, but as exposure. Nothing is added, nothing is taken away, only clarity remains. Some religious thinkers suggested that heaven cannot be entered blindly, that awareness must come first, that love cannot be received without understanding what was withheld. But this creates an uncomfortable paradox. If awareness deepens after death, is accountability delayed? And if accountability is delayed, what does that say about urgency in life? The twist lies here. A waiting place implies that eternity is not rushed, that final destinations are not impulsive decisions, that justice is not reactionary, but it also implies that silence itself has moral weight, because silence forces honesty. In life, distractions protect identity, roles soften guilt, labels reduce complexity. In death, those vanish. Only essence remains. Essence, fully seen, can be frightening, not because it is condemned, but because it is undeniable. Perhaps this is why some traditions remained vague about what happens immediately after death. Certainty removes tension. Ambiguity preserves humility. A waiting place does not threaten belief. It threatens assumptions. It asks whether confidence about eternity is earned or borrowed. It asks whether hope is rooted in transformation or expectation. And it asks something even quieter. If there is a pause after death, what does that say about the value of reflection before it? This love, justice, and mercy may require understanding, not just arrival, view. And so the story does not end with gates opening or flames rising. It ends with stillness, a consciousness awake in silence, of time slowed, memory clear, not punished, not rewarded, just waiting. And the question remains unanswered. Is the waiting a mercy or a mirror? Does eternity begin with movement or with understanding? And if silence awaits everyone first, what does that reveal about the lives being lived now?